trying to water a plant using an empty watering can. You shake it, tilt it, even squeeze it. Nothing comes out because you're doing it wrong, because there's nothing inside. Now imagine someone walks over, looks at the dry plant, and says, "You're just bad at taking care of plants." That would sound ridiculous. But we do something strangely similar in relationships every day. We assume people give the love they have. They give the love they're missing. Think about the friend who constantly asks, "Are you mad at me?" Or the partner who gets upset because you didn't text back for 2 hours. Or the person who keeps saying, "You never notice what I do for you." Most of us hear those words as complaints. But what if they're actually clues? What if people don't fight the hardest over what they have too much of, but over what they've been starving for? Here's something fascinating. The things people criticize most are often the things they secretly crave. The person who calls everyone cold may spend every day wishing someone would simply hug them first. The person obsessed with loyalty may be terrified of being forgotten. The one who demands words of appreciation may have gone years without hearing, "I'm proud of you." It almost feels backwards. You'd think people ask directly for what they need. Usually, they don't. Because most people don't even realize what they're missing. Imagine growing up in a house where nobody ever played music, no radio, no singing, no concerts. Silence was just normal. You wouldn't wake up one morning thinking, "My life is missing music." How could you? You can't miss something you've never learned to recognize. Until one day, someone presses play, and suddenly you realize there was an entire language your heart had never heard before. Love works the same way. The things we need most often become invisible. Not because they're unimportant, because we've lived without them for so long that they started feeling optional. So instead of asking for them, we react. We become sarcastic, jealous, controlling, distant, critical, not because those reactions are who we are, but because they're smoke coming from a fire we can't see. That's why two people can have completely different definitions of love. One feels loved when you say, "I'm proud of you." Another doesn't care about words at all. They feel loved when you stay, or when you remember the smallest detail they told you 3 weeks ago, or when you sit beside them without looking at your phone. And here's the mistake that ruins so many relationships. We judge people by the way they ask for love, instead of trying to understand what they're actually asking for. Anger is loneliness wearing armor. Sometimes jealousy is fear wearing a disguise. Sometimes criticism is simply an empty watering can, hoping someone notices it has nothing left to give. Because underneath almost every toxic behavior, there's a need that never learned how to speak. And the moment you stop listening only to people's words and start listening to what they're hungry for, you begin hearing a completely different conversation.